Okay, today I have a few confessions to make. I have some homeschool confessions to share with you. So I hope that you can handle some honesty today. Over the past 8 years of homeschooling, my homeschool has really changed. I have done things that I said initially that I would never do, and I've learned to never say that again because I always end up at some point doing the things that I always thought would never happen in my homeschool. So it has really humbled me to see all the changes in my homeschool over the past several years. Things have really changed and evolved with my kids. My homeschooling style has changed. The way we structure our day and the curriculum that I use has changed. So today I'm sharing some of my top confessions from this past school year. So we take days off whenever I need a sanity day. There are days where I am just exhausted. We've had a busy weekend. My kids are athletes, so we have sometimes entire weekends with sports activities. And there are times where I have been either at an auditorium for like 13 hours on a day or two over the weekend, or I've been at a golf tournament for 6 hours. Out walking, following my kids as they play, and I am completely exhausted, and they are too. So there are times where we just have to take a sanity day. If my kids are ever fighting, and I just know that school is not going to get done anyway, we just call it off, and we just take a break. On those days, we sometimes watch a movie. It may or may not be educational. No, if it's not, I don't count it as a school day. So no, I don't count it as a school day if we completely take the day off. Sometimes we just play Legos or play board games, or we all take a nap. I have just learned that when we are all having bad attitudes, when we're all exhausted, it's better not to push forward. And so I just have learned to allow the flexibility, even though as a planner, it makes me crazy to have a day off that was not planned. It was not a planned off day. It was supposed to be a school day. I had things that we were supposed to do. It drives me completely crazy. But we take those days, and I am so much better for them. We sometimes just read. We sometimes watch things. It doesn't matter what we do. We just need a break, a complete change from our routine. And it really helps us reset and get back into our homeschool groove for the rest of the week. So there are days where we just call the day off and we just do absolutely nothing. And on those days, I just let my kids choose what they want to do, and they have to go kind of do things independently. And I'm able to do some things that I want to do. Sometimes I get to read or just watch my own movie, and we just take that break. I also said I would never use textbooks in my homeschool. I was going to be the perfect Charlotte Mason homeschool mom. I was going to put together my own curriculum with all these great living books, and I would never read twaddle. I would never read textbooks, or I would never use workbooks because, oh, that's so boring. Confession, I use them all the time in my homeschool now. My kids like workbooks. They love to have a book with all of their work in it that has colorful pages and pictures, and they love to write in it. Who knew? Okay, fine. They use workbooks. We also use textbooks for some of our subjects. My kids like them. They are concise. It allows us to read about things, and then if there's one particular, very specific part in the textbook that really piques their interest, we can get living books on that one topic and read more about it and dive more deeply into that. But sometimes they don't want to do that. They would rather have the extra time to go play and do other things. So we just simplify, and we use textbooks and workbooks, which is something I thought I would never do. But my kids enjoy it, and we have no complaints. So that really works well for us. I sometimes use online classes and DVDs, video school, things like that. When I first started homeschooling, I did a lot of parent-intensive things, and I wanted to be the sole teacher for every subject. With 7 kids, that doesn't work well. I can't do everything for every kid all the time, or I would have no margin in my day. So I sometimes rely on an online class or DVDs to help explain things, and then I can follow up with my kids and still work with them, but I'm not the sole teacher. I am not the main source of information for that particular subject because I just can't teach everyone individually. That leads to burnout, and I have been there, and I don't want to make that mistake again. So I do use some DVDs, some video schools, some online learning, online classes. I have learned to kind of sprinkle those throughout our year so that I can have a little bit of a break. I also do not participate in a co-op. And that's a whole nother post in and of itself. And I have several about that. And they are really popular and controversial on my blog, where I talk about how I say no to co-ops. I do not participate in a co-op because I find it is too time consuming. I do not want to prepare lessons and teach other people's kids. I just don't enjoy that. I want to teach my own kids, and then I want to have a break to do other things completely unrelated to homeschooling. So I don't participate in any co-op or support group. I don't enjoy packing my kids up and hauling them down to all the different meetings and activities that are put on with a support group or a co-op. It is too much stress to take all my kids and do all of that. We just like doing our own thing. That doesn't mean that we don't hang out with friends at the park or get together with friends, have friends over. We do all of that, but we just do it on our schedule. I don't have to follow a co-op schedule. I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time on certain days. We are able just to have a lot more flexibility in our homeschool because we don't participate in any of those things. And my last confession is I don't always enjoy homeschooling. I do love spending time with my kids, and I really enjoy homeschooling them. I never wanted to be a teacher. When I was little, I did not say I wanted to be a teacher when I grew up, yet here I am. I think I'm probably not that great at it, but I'm doing it anyway by the grace of God. We are able to homeschool, and we enjoy it. But there are many days where I don't enjoy homeschooling, and I think that's okay to admit it. There are days where you are tired, where your kids are driving you crazy, and so there are days that I'm just exhausted and I don't enjoy doing it. And on those days, I really have to think back and remember and look at my list that I've written down of why we chose to homeschool, because I sometimes need that reminder because I am just tired. It is hard enough to just be a mom, but to put educator on top of that and have both of those roles, it is really challenging. And there are days, many days, where I do not enjoy it and where I just wake up thinking I don't think I can homeschool today. And sometimes on those days, we take that sanity day. And on other days, I have learned that there are times where I just need to be diligent and push through because I'm called to homeschool. God has equipped me to homeschool. I can homeschool through his strength. And on Sundays, I just have to get up and rely on that to kind of drag me through my day. So those are my confessions. Homeschooling is interesting. It is a journey. And it's a blessing. I don't ever want to give up that blessing. It has been wonderful to watch my kids grow and change and be able to learn with them. But it does come with its own set of challenges. So if you have any homeschool confessions, I hope that you will share those below. And then you can also subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos.